Okay, wow. I don't really usually deal with intros, but hey, I have for a long time been wanting to talk about how it was to grow up as Asian in Europe. I guess as an Asian European, I don't know if that's a thing. I have never used that ever, but technically I am an Asian European. So yeah, it is a topic which I didn't really think about that seriously back in the day when I was younger, talking as if I'm an old lady, but I'm not. For real though. As I'm getting older, day by day, I find myself thinking more and more about this topic. Honestly, several times a day because I did have struggles growing up, but I didn't really realize the actual serious impact these struggles had on my life until I started growing into adulthood. Also, for the past few months, in connection with the ongoing pandemic going on in the world, I have seen a lot of racist and hateful comments towards the Asian community all over social media. Yeah, but nevertheless, I have also seen a lot of Asians defending our community, and so for that reason, I felt like this was a good time to speak up about this subject. Just a little background story on myself, I guess. My name is Cindy, I am 21 years old, and I am born and raised in Norway, and I'm Chinese. Growing up, my parents didn't really tell me specifically, like, Cindy, you are Asian, Cindy, you are Chinese. I lived in a city southeast of Norway where basically 95% of the people was Norwegian or, well, white people. I don't really like that term, but you know what I mean? Believe it or not, I didn't really know that different ethnicities was a thing. I thought that everyone was the same. I literally just looked at everyone as a human being. I don't know if that sounds stupid or not, but you're a kid. Although I did speak one language at home and then another one at school, yet in my mind that still didn't hit me that different ethnic backgrounds was a thing. In school, obviously, I did notice that I looked different compared to my other classmates. I was always the only Asian kid in the class. I'm not joking, actually. It sounds weird, but if I were to be asked if I knew any other Asian kids at school, I would have literally needed to think about it and then carefully pick out the different Asian kids at my school from different years. So obviously, I didn't have a lot of people who looked like me growing up, except my parents, my sister, and then a few others. There's nothing bad, good, common, uncommon about that. There's literally nothing deep about that. That's just how it happened naturally. I had a great childhood. I was a happy kid. I had great friends. Never ever did I feel excluded or left out because I was Asian. I have great Chinese parents who raised me well, or I mean, well, at least in my opinion. And they taught me to not care about what bad people had to say about me because it did happen, of course. I am the only Asian kid in class. It was bound to happen. Bullies at school would make fun of my eyes, my nose, my voice. Who makes fun of a kid's voice? It is possible. Of course, they got to me sometimes. I wasn't born with thick skin. It took time. Just like racism is taught and influenced by people. Tell me if you have ever seen a newborn child throw racist slurs at people? No, you haven't. There was a time I wanted to be white or Norwegian, I guess, so bad. I got so insecure, I wanted to change everything about my appearance, specifically my Asian features. There has been times where someone thought I was half Norwegian, and honestly, I'm not gonna lie, at that time I took it as a compliment because that made me feel Norwegian for one moment. And for some reason, I was also embarrassed that I could speak Chinese. I can't quite remember how it went down because honestly, I have suppressed that from my memories. I was also at the time struggling with reading Norwegian and English, so I would quit speaking Chinese, but that is something that I regret so much. I can still understand, I can still speak, but it is limited. I understand my parents and my sister when they're talking Chinese to me much more than a stranger. I don't know if anyone can relate to that, but I can still understand strangers, of course, but if they do have an accent of some sort, sometimes it might take a moment for me to process. But later as I grew up, I realized how stupid that was, how I was thinking at that time. I shouldn't be hiding myself. Everything that is honestly making me unique from other people. Yes, I look different, but at least they will remember my face. I am a minority in this country. I had to, in addition to Chinese, which I learned at home, I needed to learn Norwegian, then needed to learn English, then another foreign language. I needed to have French for 3 years. I had Spanish for another 2 years, and not to just add a lot of different languages or anything like that, but I have family in Sweden, so a part of my childhood I was speaking Swedish as well. So yeah. And my teachers are wondering why I was struggling with reading Norwegian and English in school. There's your answer. I don't regret anything from my childhood. Most of the things I remember are happy memories. Some are sad, but that is what made me the person I am today. I may be born and raised in Norway. When I introduce myself, I say that I am from Norway because, well, I lived here for 18 years of my life. I didn't live here for nothing. I can't say I'm from China because I've never lived there before. But I am Chinese. My family is from China. I love them more than anything in the world, and I'm so proud of the country my family is from. Although I was made fun of for my Asian looks, to some extent it wasn't that bad because, come on, who doesn't get made fun of for their looks when they're a kid? It's not only Asian people. I consider everyone living in Norway all in all as very accepting people, open-minded people, and by that I mean that I felt very well protected. I never felt excluded, left out. I never felt like I was treated differently because I'm me. But then I moved to Amsterdam. For the record though, this doesn't really have anything to do with the city itself. I love Amsterdam. It is just things that I experienced which so happened to be when I had already moved there. I have never experienced racism publicly from a stranger before yet. Yes, I have seen a couple of kids across from the street somewhere yelling annoying Chinese imitations, but that's it. But at the same time, when I think about it, that is kind of messed up. The fact that I have grown up with these norms where this is kind of considered expected from someone towards you because of your ethnicity. When white kids do that to Asians, it is, yeah, as I said, expected. But if it goes the other way around, no,
that's harassment.
I don't get it. Although nothing serious stuff has happened to me yet. Keyword yet. Almost every day I hear a new story, anything from verbal abuse by some stranger in front of everyone in public, or someone literally get jumped on by a huge group of people and beat up, like literally punched in the face. And it is really annoying. Because for what? We haven't done anything. If I'm gonna apologize for anything, okay, here it goes. I apologize for being Asian with forever youthful skin. Most of the time, I don't care what people say, but other times, it really gets to me because although it doesn't have anything to do with me physically, I do take it personally because it involves my heritage and my culture. Asians are doing just as much as anybody else in this world. We get hated on because we want to work hard. We are being stereotyped if we get a good grade, and we get neglected if we want to succeed in life. All those things are human things. Literally anybody, everybody wants to accomplish that. If I had a dime for every time someone told me,
"You're smart because you're Asian."
If someone thinks that, you need to get yourself educated. You don't know what you're talking about. You are only saying that because you are insecure about yourself, and at the same time you are invalidating someone else's success. There's a lot of double standards with trends on social media and all that. I don't know, I feel weird about it, honestly. For example, wearing glasses. Wearing glasses used to be so looked down upon, and I always heard this stereotype that
Asians are the ones who wear glasses.
Imagine this, when I found out that I needed glasses when I was 12, I was devastated. I begged my mom for 2 to 3 years to get contacts. I finally got them. I got an eye infection, could have messed up my eyes really bad. Now I wear glasses more than contacts. People who doesn't really need glasses gets fake glasses because now it looks cool, but I need them. This is a necessity to me. Without these, I'm blind. I'm not sure if I am reading too deep into this, but it just doesn't look right to my eyes.
It was an eye-opening experience for sure.
Something else with eyes is that makeup trend with the eyeliner where you draw like a long line like inside of your eye all the way out to make your eye look long and slim. If I had a dime again for every time someone did this to me, because of that, I hated my eyes for 5 years. You know, I thought that as the years have gone by that people on social media speaking up about being mistreated, all that the world was on its way on a better and more equal path. I mean, don't get me wrong, it definitely is. It is slowly, very slowly getting there, but the world has really taken a lot of steps back only in a matter of a few months. When it comes to racist jokes, big, small, anything in between, don't let it slide because that will just contribute to normalize this such behavior, and that is definitely never okay. Stop this hate, especially during these times.
We're in a freaking pandemic, for God's sake.
We should stay together. We shouldn't go against one another, or else we will never fight this virus ever. Also, keep in mind, most doctors and healthcare workers are Asians. Stereotypes aside, if they quit, we're screwed. So think about where your actions are going before you do it. Last thing I want to touch upon, it is called the coronavirus, COVID-19. There's a reason behind that. It is not called the Chinese virus. I always hear people say, oh, the virus comes from China. It should be called the Chinese virus. No,
That's not a thing.
I am Chinese. I am proud, and I am speaking up together with the rest of the Asian community against this hate. I hope this video can contribute in spreading awareness about this subject. This is something that I do really take close to heart. Any kind of racism is never okay. So, thank you. Okay. Bye.